Do not put your signature on the thing if you haven't read it!
I'm sure you just clipped us out. But anyway, yeah, no, seriously, don't sign things you haven't read. Just advice.
And welcome back to Badger and Gary's Final Fantasy VII Let's Play. With you, as always, is your host, Gary the Tuna.
And myself, King Badger, the Badger King.
Today, we will be playing Final Fantasy VII.
I still don't know where we're supposed to go. Where are we supposed to go? I was about to drop some F-bombs and then some H-bombs.
Well, I imagine we're gonna... check out Coasta Del Sol.
Oh wait, you still need to take a nap, because I didn't do that last time. And you yelled at me profusely.
Well, yeah, you gotta get your 8 hours.
'Cause you gotta have friends.
Yo, I fight a lot.
Oh wait, I didn't see the isn't. I thought she just responded with, well, that's good. What?
Nope.
She's like, hey, no fighting in this town. I fight a lot.
First order of business, we're going to the bar. Hit me with something strong.
Strong. Tropical nights.
Nope.
Oh, man, you know what we've really got to do one of these nights? Instead of doing Parkeritas or Bourbon Colas, because that's kind of our go-to. Bourbon Colas is definitely our fallback. We should totally do Pina Coladas. I love Pina Coladas.
I heart me a Pina Colada. It's hard to see a Pina Colada and not want a Pina Colada.
You know, I hear that's how they market Pina Coladas.
Yeah. Also, this dude is in a bikini. Oh, he turned around. It looked like a bikini.
That's
and
a wrestling one piece.
I was excited. Like, Final Fantasy VII coming out in, like, late 90s, early aughts, being so progressive.
You know, it's funny. I don't know why that reminds me of this TikTok I saw recently, but, this person was like, oh, hey, why don't you pick up a...
Look at me, I got some bangles.
Wait.
Why is the platinum... Oh, because the materia on it.
I was gonna say, yeah, what's...
No,
carbon!
Even that's better than the...
Yeah,
why? I don't
carbon.
I
get 5 carbon. Wait.
I literally cannot
What's the 4 slots cost? Oh, okay. 4 slots is bad defense, but I assumed it had 4
legit
slots.
has 4 slots.
And they're trying to sell us another crappy
How
grenade.
can we start a revolution and not own a single Molotov? I almost said montage.
We own all of the montage. Don't burn all of our money on that. Get the carbons first.
Wow, Molotovs are cray expensive. But I mean, like, we're freedom fighters. We're starting a revolution.
I mean, but we're already... like, slated to fight the bad guys. I wouldn't be worried about it. Anyway, words and stuff, and things and stuff. Oh yeah, so, in this TikTok, this lady was like, this is why boys and men should wear dresses, and it's because, or why we should normalize, oh man, we should give him the strength. I think.
That's what
I
was
didn't
thinking.
realize we had this many accessories.
I honestly didn't know until I was outfitting people with carbon bangles.
Anyway, though, so the reason that men and boys, we should normalize as a culture men and boys wearing dresses is because that way dresses will get pockets. And point A, I agree with this point, but women's clothing should have pockets. And then women will be able to buy dresses and skirts with pockets. Is why we should normalize men and boys wearing skirts and dresses.
You're telling me that ladies don't own pockets?
No, I had this lady friend. This friend who was a lady, I should clarify. She was not a lady friend in that fashion. who had a pair of pants, right? And women's pants...
Only one? That's weird.
No, she had multiple, but this one specific pair of pants, she was very disappointed in because it didn't have pockets. And I was like, well, I know a thing or two about sewing. Let's pop the seams on your pockets and see if we can put a pocket in there. So she popped the seams on her pockets and found out that her pants had pockets that were sewed shut at the top, at the opening of the pocket, because they were women's pants, so they sewed them closed. So I lost my entire mind.
Pause.
Yeah.
Trigger alert.
Okay.
Women don't get pockets?
Yeah, apparently. And it's baffling. I literally don't understand it. It is the dumbest thing.
Also, I bought a platinum bangle just to see, because they only showed you the defense. They didn't show you the magic defense. Well, spoiler alert.
Man,
why does the
platinum bangle exist?
I thought that it had at least, like, higher magic defense.
Right,
to, like,
that would
make
make
it
sense.
worth,
That would make sense.
Because it literally costs twice as much as a thing that is better than it. I don't even know. I can't.
The platinum bangle is
even.
like the lady pants with no pocket.
I literally cannot.
What'd you get? We have Shiva? We also have Shiva. Why don't we have one of our main party members equipped with Shiva?
I don't know. We'll give Stan Shiva.
Call back to anybody who's watched our earlier episodes that isn't me.
Ooh.
Also, remember
Ooh.
that if you comment, we will highlight you in our comment section.
Remember, if you
The 5th of
comment on
November.
our video, we will do featured comments.
That's the word I was
As
looking
long
for.
as you can prove that you are not one of Badger's alter egos.
I hate you. I just have so many things to share in the featured comments section.
Okay, but none of them are worth sharing. Oh, I thought you meant you would comment.
I would
Oh,
comment.
yeah, then you definitely don't have anything worth sharing.
I hate you. Alright, anyway, this week's featured comment.
This week, Badger takes a line out of Gary's father's handbook.
Did I ever tell you how much I wanted to get kicked out of a Walmart for eating lipstick? And when they come to find out if everything is going okay, I look them dead in the face with lipstick caked in my teeth and smeared all over my face and yell, "Do you love me now, Daddy?" And then I throw $20 at them and just run out. Did I ever tell you about that?
You never told me about that, but that's funny.
I always thought that would be hilarious. Alright,
There was a period of time where I would literally go into Walmart at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and just eat all of their... No. I would literally walk in the store without shoes on, barefoot, in Walmart.
Oh, man.
Just to see how long I could walk around until they kicked me out. I never once got kicked out, nor even scolded or anything.
Man, they don't... So here's the thing about it, and it's part of why that's a dead dream now.
Revive.
We already have 2. We have 2 revives. Oh wait, no, we have 2 restores. One of them is equipped. What's our revive? We own 1. It's not even equipped.
Because I literally just bought it.
No, you didn't.
I literally
Why are
just
you lying to me?
Here,
Why
let
are
me
you
buy
lying to
another
me?
one. Just kidding, I don't have the money. Get
Because
out of
you
my
lied
face.
to me.
Oh, you cost so much. Can I sell? I want to sell.
We actually, if you run back to the armor shop, we could sell some stuff.
Oh god, I don't need eye drops.
I mean, but they help
Wow,
with
but they don't
blindness.
sell for anything. When you want to breed chocobos.
We want to breed chocobos.
Don't middle of my life. You know I'm a real dad.
Even though I look like him. We don't need Molotovs.
We're starting a revolution.
Yeah, we're doing that without Molotovs.
With a revolution.
Wait, isn't Gravy Ball the game from, like, Final Fantasy 11, 10, X? Final Fantasy X? That was Gravy Ball, right?
Wow, they sell for 1 gil each?
I mean, sell them so they aren't on us, then. What is it good for? What do we use it for?
It casts Demi, which, if I remember correct, reduces enemy HP by 1/2 of their current HP. Yeah, it's butts.
Butts. Man, that's not true. I was about to be like, I wish I was...
How do grenades sell for more? Ugh!
With the uhs and the ahs. I don't like it. Did you get enough for seal?
Yeah, now I can get a Mama Fuka.
I don't know what that means.
It was this joke that a girl of mine used to tell. She would call her sister a Mama Fuka.
Okay.
Because it sounds like a foreign language for an inappropriate term, but apparently...
No, it sounds like a foreign language and or an inappropriate term.
Sure. But apparently, according to her, the joke is that it's Italian for baby seal. I don't know. I never looked it up. I just accepted it as canon until proven otherwise.
Until proven guilty.
But,
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah.
Alright, get us on the path to where we're supposed to be going, and then tell me where we're going so you can pass the rock to me, because you've got promises to keep.
Yeah, I don't keep promises. That's kind of my thing.
But you do, though.
But I do, though.
Alright, so...
I don't need poison magic. Give me
There's
Shiva.
a Mama Fuka restaurant. Apparently.
That seems a little excessive. How about seal? Seal. It casts sleep and silence. Why would you have a materia called seal? When it casts sleep and silence. I thought it would
assumed it was going to, like, prevent them from casting a thing. Like, it was going to seal one of their magic.
Or cast, like, barrier or something?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would have sealed them away from...
I don't know.
I'm sorry I encourage you to waste our gil.
No, it's fine. This game is rampant with botany. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, it's funny that you say these things as a botanist.
Okay, alright. Guys, it's been a fun video. We're gonna end it here. This is Gary. This is Badger. Follow him at Badger something says all the wrong things because he's dumb. Follow us both at Yeast PG or something. Follow me in real life or in my dreams or on I-95 or something. I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I gotta take him outside though because we got some business to settle.
You can take me outside in 40 minutes. We've still got a whole episode to go.
I will kick your microphone with my freakishly long legs that aren't actually that long.
I have no good...
You know, I just don't even care about Shiva as a person. Not because of the reasons you might be thinking, but because she is an ice elemental.
I was gonna say, isn't Shiva like crazy
and
powerful
ice my
against fire
business.
stuff?
Oh yeah, of course, she's ice.
Oh man, you know, if it weren't so boring, I remember we tried to do this once. I was gonna be like, oh man, we totally need to do a full Let's Play of that one game that we loved, Divinity. Original Sin.
That would be so boring.
We'd have to argue even more than we usually do.
Like, there would have to be some heavy editing. Like, we would do a playthrough of that, and it would be 30% us battling, 30% us getting into shenanigans, and 100% us stealing every painting we can find.
Selling it to somebody, then murdering the entire town and stealing it all off of their dirty corpses.
How about a slice of this fine cheese?
Oh, man. A wheel of the good stuff.
I got some vim to put some vigor into your step.
No, it was... The line that we always heard was something about putting some vim into your vigor.
Yeah.
Which was two different lines about a wheel of the good stuff, adding some vim, and a potion to add to your vigor or something.
Yeah.
So, actually, for the record, kids at home, because apparently that's my catchphrase, Divinity Original Sin and Divinity 2 Original Sin, which we actually haven't finished Divinity 2. We still gotta do that one of these days.
We never did finish Divinity 2.
To the point at which we've played Divinity 2 were fun games. Especially fun if you've got a friend and you both like screwing around. Like, not actually playing the game, but figuring out every way you can to break it or watching various YouTube personalities teach you how to break it and then doing that. We did not do the second option. We just found out how to break it, including, this was my favorite, and seriously almost why we should do a Divinity 2 Let's Play. But it would take us like 12 whole years to get to this point. We literally, there's a point, spoilers, where you find a dude trapped in a cage, and he's explaining that the only way for you to get him out is to make a deal with this other person. So, we of course just teleported him out of the cage. And then we teleported this other person into the cage, which was an actual 3-hour-long pixel hunt find the one pixel that would allow us to teleport them onto it. And then we talked to them again, the person that we had just freed, and he was like, the only way for you to get me out of this cage is to make a deal with the person in the cage.
Literally, you're out of the cage! I spent years of my life I will never get back to get you out of this cage!
My favorite part was that one dude. It was like, and at this point in the game, we had already been rampantly utilizing, because Badger is you might have noticed, if you've been watching, I'm bad at video games, apparently, Gary. We had already burned so many revive scrolls that Gary just dropped the skill points and the money to learn how to revive without the scroll.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to this guy who had fallen off of a cliff, and he's like, I'm dying. And Gary's like, what's his health at? I'm like, oh man, he's got like 3 hit points out of 80. So Gary heals him back to full health, and he's just like, tell my wife and children I love them. And I'm like, bro, you're fully healed. And I keep talking to him, and Gary's like casting anti-poison and like blessing him. And this dude has like every positive buff in the book, full hit points, and he's just like, I fell 10 whole feet. I can see my life flashing before my eyes. And I'm like, cool story, bro. And then he died. So Gary cast Revive on him, and all it did was teleport the corpse 5 feet away. And we're like, yeah, we're just like, but we revived. We revived him. It's a good game. It's a good game that really lets you do a whole lot. Like 80% of what you want to in an almost like sandboxy style game that apparently wasn't actually meant to be the sandboxy style game that Gary and I played it as. In all fairness, we did accidentally teleport ourselves into the back door of like the secondary boss.
Yeah.
Like, while we were 20 levels too low to fight him. And then we won by cheesing the game. That was the one where we set him on the exploding platform, wasn't it? Like, you literally just picked him up and set him down.
Yeah.
And real time, the platform kept exploding, and we just didn't even run through our turn. We sat there on Gary's turn because he didn't end his turn for like 10 minutes real time, watching this explosion chip away at this boss's hit points. And then he died. And we're like, okay, but, and it was like, okay, but you needed stuff to continue past this point that you found at the beginning of this whole section. And we had to fight through it backwards, which was not easy. It was the opposite of it got easier by a lot as we turbo leveled our way down.
Right. So at this point in the game, if anybody has been watching, I just talked to Hojo, this evil scientist of Shinra,
who's hanging out in a lab coat on the beach.
Who's hanging out in a lab coat on the beach.
That's how you know
I
he's
accidentally
evil.
found him. He was the guy who had Stan prisoner.
Okay.
And stuff. So evil scientist Hojo of Shinra that did many evil, terrible experiments. We murdered him or something. But
Looks like we didn't murder him very good.
But I guess it was a ruse or something, and
it was a ruse!
And he left Shinra to sneak away to this beach.
I mean, that's
to
fair.
now hang out in a lab coat, getting a tan, he says, surrounded by
on the beach.
these lascivious ladies. Also, just a quick side note, lascivious? I never once heard that word pronounced in my life. I only read it in books. And if you see the word written...
It looks like lascivious.
I always pronounce it as in my head as lascivious.
Yep.
But no, it's apparently pronounced lascivious. Anyway...
You know what's funny about that is, I don't remember the first time I ever heard it pronounced, but I'd had it in my head as lascivious or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to an audio drama. Like, I don't even remember what one. And if I were, I wouldn't tell you because I'm not throwing shade. But the person reading the word lascivious pronounced it lascivious. And I'm at work and I was just like, amateur. And all of my coworkers were just like, what are you talking about? I was like, some nerd who reads professionally doesn't know how to pronounce words.
LOL.
And then they looked at me like I was dumb, which is fair.
Right.
I didn't need to be that level of butt.
This evil scientist who has done many evil things in his pursuit of science escapes to live a life of luxury on this beach. We find him
living a life of luxury on the beach.
This evil scientist who has personally traumatized
Stan.
and done evil things to Stan,
Poor
who
Stan.
should, in my opinion, be out for blood at this
Stan
point.
has the best mohawk.
Stan has a very
It's not quite as good as mine, but nonetheless, Stan has a
But
good
anyway,
mohawk.
this bad guy, right? We're like, hey, tell us information. And he's like, mumble, mumble, mumble. Go west, you'll figure it out. And we're literally just like, I guess we'll get nothing more from him. Better just leave now, I guess. Like, why are we not straight up just murdering this guy
Are you
when
saying
we
it's
have
time for me to go west while you read your story?
we have zero compunctions as individuals or as a party against murder? Why are we not straight up just murdering this dude right now?
Because this isn't Divinity 2, and Stan isn't Bedoiter.
I heart Bedoiter.
Bedoiter. Still the best pronunciation.
Oh, you remember my favorite part of the game? When we made her the pack mule to carry all of our stuff, and then you literally dismissed her from the party trying to just back out of talking to her on accident?
How am I supposed to go west? West is across the... We just landed here from the west.
Try going north and then west. Try dialing! Alright.
One of these days, I'll remember to link all of the references that we reference.
Do you even know how to read maps?
No, I don't.
Alright.
I do, yes. But that's all beside the point.
Well, after you finish
Man, you
killing
didn't even have
this
it on
Russian
×3.
birth egg...
The baby egg?
The baby egg.
The baby laying egg?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Look at the map. You're literally on the east side of the continent.
Yeah, and I was running north, but I had to run west because there's a cliff in my way. Yeah, see, map, right there? That cliff there is what I was running around.
Oh, wow, how about that?
Yeah, that's where I was going. Now read your stupid story about Chuck Norris and all of his girlfriends.
Nope, I don't even want to anymore.
That's not true at all. You love tooting your own horn even more so than I do.
Alright, well, I guess here we go. Because Badger says I have to.
Hey, you made the promise.
Episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8.
5, 6, 7,
the
8.
Uranus incident.
Alright, read it like you mean it, though.
In the Milky Way galaxy.
Quit being a poop.
Well, you shouldn't have put me in this position.
You put you in that position.
You did not put me in the position to put you into making me feel like a poop. How does that feel?
Fair.
Edit that. Love it.
That's gonna stay in.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I can't wait to read
Excuse me.
that YouTube closed caption on that
That's
one.
gonna be so good. Alright, here we go. In the Milky Way galaxy, a long way from nowhere, the intellectual Intellectuals on that backwards planet I like to call Earth have engineered a way to alter the space-time continuum. Faster than light travel has been discovered and is being used to deliver colony ships throughout the galaxies. One of the colonists is the fabled Chuck Norris, and he's bound for Uranus. It turns out that there's been some dispute between the colonist miners and the planet's inhabitants. Chuck Norris decides to investigate the incident and turns on the afterburners. Jump to light speed! Chuck Norris's ship zooms through the cosmos, dodging planets and stars
tier.
alike.
Look at me.
He flies his Mach 20,391 Class B intergalactic shuttle recklessly through the starry abyss. His ship weaves in and out of intergalactic travel, and he learns quite a few new words and strange hand gestures. Blasting through space at speeds never reached before, his ship enters the Uranus system, and he docks it at the mining platform that orbits the planet. Chuck Norris disembarks the shuttle and strolls toward the unloading docks. He's met with many a cheer and quite a few huzzahs!
Huzzah!
To industry. Holding up his hand to quiet his adoring audience, Chuck Norris announces...
Adoring audience? Because, isn't adorning, wearing clothing or something like that? Like, something is adorned with? Okay.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Alright, just making sure I wasn't dumb.
No, I'm just mispronouncing.
So we know I'm dumb. I'm real dumb.
Holding up his hand to quiet his adoring audience, Chuck Norris announces...
I hate you.
I am going to get to the bottom of this.
The Digimon
If it takes me an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, a century... Wait a minute, maybe not that long, but still... Well, you get the point.
Where is Steel?
I swear...
Who has Steel?
Tifa. Tifa has Steel.
Is it in the E-skills? Because I tried to make somebody suicide, but it didn't work.
No, that's enemy skills. That's what we pick up from enemies. When they slap Tifa in the face, we learn their skills.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just literally in her action menu.
Oh,
the
there
thing
it
they
is.
called Steel.
Yeah. I was...
Also, did you ever steal the boomerang for Yuffie back in the old continent?
No, we still haven't found Yuffie either, so...
Well, moving on with our lives.
Figured out.
I am going to get to the bottom of this. If it takes me an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, a century... Wait a minute, maybe not that long, but still... Well, you get the point. I swear that I shall not stop hunting this elusive rabbit that I like to call justice. I will not sleep. I will not eat. I will not rest until all of those aliens are put in their places. Oh, hey, looky, free donuts! Chuck Norris scampers off to collect his loot among many confused stares and pondering glances. Returning to his pedestal with a maple bar in one hand and a frosted sugar puff in another, he resumes his speech. Yeah, well, I'll see you later. Chuck Norris steps off his high horse and meanders through the crowd, creating a surge of people anxious to get out of his way. Strolling down a narrow hallway with a herd of people following in his wake, Chuck Norris is attacked by adorable pink fluffy aliens with scooters and slingshots. The Uranus colonists begin to scream bloody murder and run for their lives. Chuck Norris politely asks the aliens where the bathroom might be found. When they begin to scooter in circles around him, Chuck Norris is hailed with a barrage of questions ranging from, what in the name of all that's pink and fluffy are you? To, what's your favorite color? Is it pink? Is it pink? It better be pink. Chuck Norris quickly uses his martial arts kung fu jutsu and puts up a mental shield to ward off their attacks. The aliens are stunned that a mere human has managed to withstand their brutal mind-numbing powers. Too late, the aliens try to escape, but Chuck Norris chases after them and punts one of them out of an open window. In a space station. Yes. We thought that one out correctly.
Punts them out of an open window in a space. I wasn't paying attention, I'll admit. I'm a terrible friend.
Their organized retreat becomes a mad scramble to get away from this monster. They flee to their secret base with Chuck Norris hot on their heels.
The Chuckler.
They quickly initiate backup plan Alpha, Omega, Beta, Delta, Air Force One! The
AOB Air Force One?
AOBD Air Force One. They quickly initiate... Oh, nope. The pink fluffy aliens begin to merge with one another, becoming a gigantic pink fluffy alien bent on galactic domination. Chuck Norris sees this new threat and speaks into his wristwatch communicators. Power Rangers, Super Zord, go! Red, blue, black, pink, green. The Power Rangers show up with their zany dialogue and outrageously enormous, taller than skyscraper robots. Chuck Norris hastily activates his wristwatch and unites all the robots into one. Assuming the role of lead Power Ranger guy, Chuck Norris pilots the Megazord in a deadly dance of gigantic robot martial arts. Of course, it looks kind of silly when you try to do super quick martial arts in giant robots that lumber along at the speed of smell, but I guess that's besides the point. The giant alien tries to get in a few lucky punches, but the Chuck Norris beats him down. Over and over, Chuck Norris's Megazord pounds the giant alien into the ground. Chuck Norris picks the alien up over his head and power bombs it into a skyscraper. The alien tries a new tactic and uses its super special, don't have a name for it, electrical draining powers and paralyzes the Megazord. Taking advantage of his predicament, the alien slams Chuck Norris into the ground and hits him with its gigantic alien flying elbow technique. Chuck Norris decides he's had enough and draws his super huge, really big sword and lops the alien in half. But like in all Power Rangers movies, only sparks fly from the giant alien as it collapses and blows the mining platform to little pieces with its atom bomb-like explosion. The Red Ranger gets out of his Megazord and enthusiastically shouts, "Way to go, guys! We sure showed that alien who's boss! Wee-hoo!" Chuck Norris stands on the sidelines and observes all of the back patting and congratulating. But, Chuck Norris's work is done. He calmly makes his way to his Mach 20,391 Class B intergalactic shuttle and disappears beyond the horizon. The mining platform might just have been blown to bits, but the point of this story is that the good guys always win. Until next time, Space Cowboy.
Alright. What's the rest of the story?
Alright.
I can see that we're still not even all of the way through halfway.
This one is titled Episodes 9 through 17. A Nun, a Priest, and the Brother Joseph. It is literally prefaced in all caps, bolded, 14 font. I hate this story. It is the worst one I ever wrote. I was running out of ideas, and I lost all resemblance of humor. Back off. And I think we're going to skip that one. Let's skip to my second story about some student council shenanigans.
I don't want to argue. Is it just bad, or are you just trying to avoid reading it? Look, I found baby boys.
Oh, it's baby burbs.
Burbs and snacks. I like snacks. Yeah, we're taking that treasure. I'm sorry, baby birds. Oh, I thought it was telling me that we found a chocobo. No, their hair just looks like a chocobo. We're gonna get our butt kicked. Stole soft. I've stolen so much soft in this. God, I hope soft is worth stealing. Alright,
I feel like you might have used that item already.
Donkey Doodle! I just received 10 Phoenix Downs for robbing from these baby birds.
Wow, that's like 10,000 gil value.
I think it's 5,000.
I think Phoenix Downs are like 1,000 each, aren't they?
I think I paid 500 for all of the previous ones we bought in the last episode.
That's a lot of nuts!
That's a lot of nuts.
Oh my god, Stan is about to die! Why?
No,
what is your fetish with not healing?
Stan doesn't know what's good for him. Anyway, so, yeah, you want to tell that story about your class president?
I will. Anyway, about the rest of the Chuck Norris. So, I remember in the last video, I told you, like, the reason this 17 pages long is because I wrote one segment.
And everyone loved it.
And then everyone loved it, and so then I wrote another one, but then, like, my classmates were like, put me in it, and I just did, and then I wrote it, and then I literally read it, and I was like, this is such utter garbage, I'm throwing it in the trash.
Back when I was but a wee lass, I was trying to write stories, and I some of them were okay. If I could find any of them, I absolutely wouldn't share them. Unless you threaten to dislocate my fingers like
Dude,
I did
mean, if I can get 10 comments, I will share it with you, because this is probably the cringiest thing I ever read. Like,
feel welcome to comment, but it's probably not worth it.
Like, it's honestly, literally not good. I'm literally just scrolling through it. It's awful.
Anyway.
Let's just skip.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
The class student stuff.
So I mean, like, if you think it sucks, it's like I'm
no. Like, this isn't like, because you've honestly heard me read my cringy high school stuff. I'm not opposed to making myself look like a doofus.
That's what I was saying. Is like, because when I was writing
the content, but Like, no, this is a thing where I honestly believe it is subpar.
No, that's what I was saying. Is when I was in school, I was working on a story that it needs a lot of work based on the stuff I remember, if I could even find it, and I'm happy to not know where it is to share it. But, and when my classmates found out that I was writing a story, yeah, that whole, like, put me in it was totally a thing. Because, like, I mean, I still am. I was an aspiring author back when I was in, like, 4th grade. And I was legit writing some middle school garbage. As you like to yell about when I'm talking something about you. And you're like, this is some middle school bull! But, yeah. And so I'm absolutely not going to push for the
one thing that I really wish I had, I was a young child, like first grade, 2nd grade, something like that. We had to write books, and I wrote like books, like they're just little kid stories, but we had to like make books out of them to where they had a front cover.
Many high potions. I just ate like an entire stack, and we still have 20 of them.
Well, since it's an even number, I feel like I bought them. But I honestly don't know.
I ate so many of them to get us down to 20. Were we finding them somewhere?
I honestly don't know. Stuff? But anyway, we had to make these little kid books. And so I wrote this book about the war between the dolphins and the narwhals. Because, why not?
Ifrit, my flamey boy!
Oh, here we go.
It would have helped if he wasn't fire.
If he wasn't, immune to fire damage. Use Shiva. Oh, wait, I didn't slaughter because she's Abyssal.
Because you're garbage. You're my worst friend.
It was just this story about how the dolphins and the narwhals didn't like each other. But I remember that the dolphins won because they trapped the narwhals in an underwater cave and closed it behind them. And then the narwhals couldn't come up from air. And they drowned to death. That was the story, but in every page, because we had to write it and illustrate it ourselves, in every page I hit a little Easter egg where there's this snail just in every page, like Shelby the snail from Adventure Time. And I kind of wish I had that. Like that little 1st grade storybook I wrote is better than this second half of the Chuck Norris garbage.
I don't know why that made me think of, there's an episode of The Odd Ones Out. Like, it's the person that does, like, YouTube animate my life kind of stories. I was going to say, I thought I had inflicted some of them on you. And he was talking about how he had written the story when he was in school, and the teacher had set forth the rule that they were not allowed to use the word said when doing it, but it was supposed to be a very dialogue-driven story that they were writing. So instead of saying said, he used the word smirked, I think. So, like, everybody was just like, well, yeah, but, okay, but, You know, I mean, like, and I don't even remember how he portrayed it, but that was exactly how, like, my mind turned what he tried to explain the story into. Was just everybody just being like, well, okay, but, well, indeed, but, you know,
right?
Because, like, the that's the smirk noise, just in case you were wondering, apparently.
Alright, so for all of you out there that have been waiting with bated breath about this story of my high school teenage scumbag days, there was once a period of time when I
thought you
was
were like in grade school when you did this. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, no, there was a period of time when I attended a high school.
Look at Mr. Fancy Pants over here going to school.
Mm-hmm. So, I was in my junior year, and we had about a month, maybe 2 months left in school. It was rapidly approaching the end of the school year. I didn't realize this at the time because I'm not the sort of individual that pays much close
I don't
track
know
to
what
time.
transformation is, but I'm buying it.
Sure, do it big. Probably turns people into frogs. I don't know, I'm not a
I
botanist.
mean, here's hoping.
So, yeah, I don't pay much attention at the time. I didn't realize that it was the end of the school year. Like, it's not really a relevant thing, except it might come into play later in the story. So, a friend of mine, his name is Big Teats. We were very big friends back in the day. We still are. But, we had this idea. Well, more like I had this idea. And I told it to him, and he was like, and as you might not be aware, I'm an ideas guy. I have ideas for days, all days, every days. But I don't typically do things with those ideas. I just have them, and it's fun to have them, and then I move on with my life. But there are certain people, certain times where I will share these ideas with people, and they are not ideas people, they are doer people. Like, they don't typically have the ideas, but they do things once they have an idea. So I tell it to Big Teats, and Big Teats is like, well, we definitely need to do something with this. So we did a thing with this. So to give a little bit of preface, there was this... I typically refer to females as ladies, but she was like a junior year, like 15, 16... 17, 16, I want to say like 16-year-old girl.
Person.
But then again, I was like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid. So like, it worked out, okay? So there was this...
Oh wait, they weren't with us. I was going to be like, how did you not put these on them? Ooh, Force Stealer.
So there was this young girl. There was this teenage girl who was our class student council representative. Like, that means a thing in high school. Anyway, if that's a thing that you're into and proud of, totally good for you. I grew up in a small farming town. I had like 20 kids in my class, like 100 kids in my high school. It was not like a big school where like things happen and things matter. It was a tiny school, and it was garbage and trash and nothing mattered. Right, so keep that in mind. So...
I love how much preface you're doing to be like, listen, I was a scumbag and I was a scumbag.
Exactly, and I was. Anyway, so this...
Damn, this dude only charged me $50 to sleep with him.
Ooh,
right?
Moving down in the world, I like to see it.
Hey, I'm getting a discount because I'm famous and cute.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's go with that. And it's definitely not because you're in the ghetto right now.
Well, I know I'm in the ghetto, but I'm also famous and cute. And, I think I'm going to the Golden Plate.
Go to the Golden Plate, baby.
Alright, so anyway.
Win the Coliseum for me. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think that happens till second disc, and we're still, like, only a quarter of the way through first disc.
I don't even know. I'm not... No, I think you go second disc as soon as you leave Midgar.
Alright, so this is the first time you pop in the second disc because the Golden Saucer's on the second disc in the original version, but, you are still effectively story-wise on the first disc. Anyway, though, so you were a scumbag.
Okay, I will stop prefacing and just get into the story. I'm just trying to give everybody the right context. You know, I'm just it's a story that's not really. It needs context. Anyway, last of the context. She was one of the popular crowd, pretty girl cheerleader. Dad was a big name in a small town, big fish, little pond.
Also, to be clear, while we no longer feel too much about this, we were not those persons when we were in school.
Yeah,
we were not the popular kids, and there was a whole lot of spite and malice felt. Is that enough prefacing? Can you tell the story?
Well, I mean, I don't want you to make it seem like I was a little, 15-year-old edgelord. Like, I was the class clown. Everybody liked me, but I wasn't friends with everybody. It's not like I had it out for anybody.
No. What I'm saying is, while we were not the popular kid, that means that this wasn't some, inner popularity turmoil, and this wasn't about taking down somebody. It was because, and I was never, the edge... Well, I was an edgelord, but not, because I was edgy. It's because I was just trying too hard to be edgy. But all I'm saying is I had no respect for the popular kids due to my lack of popularity. Mm-hmm. And I did plenty of mean things to plenty of popular kids that I'm no longer proud of. to my name is Earl this.
Mm-hmm. 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 Right. So, okay. To sum it up as briefly and succinctly as I can, I had nothing out for this girl. Wait, goddammit, that was a terrible place to start.
No, that's fair.
Edit that out.
No,
alright.
You had nothing out for this girl. You were just trying to be funny.
Right, I was a very class clown dude. I thought of a funny idea. I've told it to a friend of mine. A friend of mine was like, oh god, yes, that's hilarious, let's do it. We did it. So basically, this popular girl, class student council representative...
who I'm assuming is actually probably a nice person. Now.
So anyway.
Anyway.
I don't know. I haven't seen her in 20 years. 15 years. An amount of time ago. So,
an entire
basically...
length of time.
Now, after the prefacing for the context is done, the actual sequence of events is that...
Told you we're going to the Golden Plate. Anyway, continue.
Bum, bum.
Bum, bum. The end. So this whole thing, all of the preface, the end.
Dude, that would be hilarious to end it there.
Dude, would have had a safe spot anywhere nearby.
Oh my gosh. That would be the kind of episode.
I mean, it's definitely us. Anyway, finish your story. All right, We're going to save as soon as we can. And
all right.
Now, ladies!
So, the story is, she was a girl that liked to party a lot in high school. Got an MIP.
Right. Oh, really? I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah, got an MIP. Minor in possession. Got, I think, kicked off of cheerleading, got kicked off of girls' basketball, whatever she was on. Got kicked off of it. MIP, that's a no-no. You can't do those things.
Right. Got in trouble.
But she was still our student class representative. So, I thought it would be funny to start a petition. Because, how is it fair for her to engage in these degenerate activities?
That such a degenerate be chosen to rule over us mere mortals down here.
If it is such a bad thing for her to engage in these debauchery, for her to be kicked off of her extracurricular sporting activities, that she is still allowed to rule us common peasants? To represent us in our class government?
We really are idiots.
Right? I thought it was just stupid and funny. So I was like, yeah, let's start a petition. Because this had never been done before in our school before.
We should go grind
Like, there had never
30,000 gil.
been a petition. There had never been an impeachment. There had never been any of this. So I was like, let's do it. It'll be funny. Like, it's a funny thing to think about. And my friend Big T's is like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not even think about doing it next week. Let's not think about doing it the right way. Let's start it right now to make sure we do it. And I was like, oh God, okay, I guess we're doing this. So I think I might have mentioned it to you before, I had hours of study hall because my school was trash.
I don't think you did mention that. That's
a story for another day. For 3 comments.
I hate you so bad.
Anyway, I had hours of study hall, so I typed up this petition, and I did research online, looking up Robert's Rule of Order, and petitions done in the past, and
that is a long trek to 30,000.
Declaration of Independence and all that stuff, and I tried to type it up.
30,000. Sorry to interrupt.
$30,000.
We're gonna grind out 30,000 gil so we can buy a lifetime pass the first time we're in here.
Do it big, Home Skillet. You got the rock. Just make sure to heal yourself.
No, I don't need to.
I know. Anyway, Robert's Rule of Order. Yeah, I did all this research to make this petition legit. Like, I set the, summary, I did the points of reason, I did the evidence, I did the stuff, and I was like, bam! This is a legit petition! And so then I took it around to all the people just in the junior grade, because this is for our class representative, so other people shouldn't have a voice in it, because it's just for our junior class. So I took it around to all the kids in our junior class. And I would like to state at this point that I never once lied about what the petition was about. But if they signed it without reading it, I also didn't tell them what the petition was about, because don't put your signature on a thing if you haven't read it. I will say this again because it is very important and will definitely come up at least once in your lives. Do not put your signature on a thing if you haven't read it!
I'm sure you just clipped us out. But anyway, seriously, don't sign things you haven't read. Just advice.
Dude, whether they're apartment leasing agreements, whether they're job things, read them, at least skim them. Don't just sign them. And if you're too lazy or you don't understand or you have reasons, pay somebody to read it for you and give you the TLDR.
That's fair. Anyway, on that note, I think it's about time for us to wrap this up, so I'm gonna say... How much?
Well, I haven't finished the story.
Shall they turn in next week for the story?
For the 3rd week in a row.
Hey, we finished the Chuck Norris part.
We should have at least ended it back when it was funny.
That's fair.
But now we're just leaving them blue.
Yeah, no, they're gonna have to tune in next week to be continued. So, follow me. Pardon me. Well, follow me.
You're right. You get
at King Badger Says. Follow us at Yeast PG. Both of these are on Twitter. Follow Gary on the highway, but not too closely. His brakes don't work right. And what do you got to say?
Check out my OnlyFans.
Bom bom.